Yeah, and Yellow went
Yellow
top
got, I think he made like top 12, and like all you see is every PGR player and then Yellow. But you know, that just goes to show you know how stacked and how strong of a group of individuals we have here in Tri-State. And these two players, nonetheless, KGP, a phenomenal performance at Scarlet Classic, getting 5th place and getting a lot of good wins. One of those things being Jut.
Yeah, Jut
PR.
and WebJP as well were on KGP's recent run at the Scarlet Classic and looks to make another one here at Fusion number 111. It was 9th place last week, looks to crack that top 8, but it all starts with Visceral, who's been one of those steady grinders at Fusion, a very consistent presence, and this Dark Samus has made its fair share of close games, just looking to make one of those breakthroughs. As in a lot of Smash Ultimate, there can be very many walls you have to push beyond in order to get into the next level of play.
Yeah, and Samus or Dark Samus, it don't matter what character it is, but one thing's for sure, this character has been put on the map. You got players like Quick, you got players like Siski, you got Icy Mist as well, Padrino repping up in here in Jersey.
But you also have Cross Slash that you have to super worry about if you're going to be using some of those floatier recoveries, just kind of using that insane aerial drift. Love that up B. Aerial version of Screw Attack does an insane amount of shield damage. Just misspaced it a little bit, giving KGP a free punish.
Yeah, right now, I mean, you're seeing the upper edge. You're seeing the aggression coming out from KGP. He's not allowing Samus to really set up for anything. You would like to see that charge shot come out. You're not seeing that many missiles come out, but Visceral really needs to start working up a little bit of his game plan. Finally has Cloud off stage, but with Limit, he's going to make it back safely.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to use the limit there to recover. But given that you're at 155, you don't mind that too much. Got to be careful with some of these riskier approaches. KGP is kind of expecting Visceral to kind of stay planted in a lot of ways and fire the charge shot. But Visceral did a very good job of always trying to maintain that mid-range and letting the burst of the charge shot do that work. The Climb Hazard breaks him out of it before that combo was able to complete. And now we've got to face Cloud's corner pressure, but KGP not really choosing to use the back air, instead trying to read it and react to the options out of the corner from Visceral, which is its own deadly game plan. There are those back airs. One more.
Ooh, and I like the option coming out from KGP. A little bit late on the shot, but you know what? He's still got to work around it. 95% already tacked on Visceral, and KGP has been very dominant on stage for most of this game. But right now, Visceral is putting up a fight, making sure that it's not going to go easy for KGP. And right now, you're seeing, these aerial attacks coming out from Samus. Samus is really that just well-rounded character. You know, good on the ground, really good at playing the mind games, and in the air, forget about it.
Yeah, and I like how Visceral is just not overcommitting once they landed charge shots. Oh, that rising there just barely missed.
That was Smash Word I would hit.
Oh, yeah.
That's all
absolutely. It would have hit from like a couple way sooner. Charging a ton of limit here, but yet again, KGP not settling for some of the earlier setups.
That's
that aerial up B I was mentioning earlier. It decimates shield, and with the right spacing, as we saw there, shield poked and got the stock. Visceral trying to gain space and trying to get enough time to charge the charge shot, but KGP was on him like a hawk and found that dash attack. There's going to be huge damage. Again, good DI down and away in order to get the Climb Hazard before the combo completes.
Yeah, both these characters excel with that up B. You know, they use it very well. Both these players doing a phenomenal job so far. But you know what? Still a pretty even game. The dash attack is going to come out and give Visceral a little bit of an advantage state. And now back throw is going to set KGP up for a bad position. Morph Ball is going to be a difference maker in this game every single time that KGP is off stage. But in order for Visceral to get anything going, he has to make sure that he puts them in the right spot and at the right time. But KGP doing a phenomenal job just waiting, playing footsies at this point.
Yeah, just trying to space out these back airs. There was another Morph Ball bomb. Always got to be careful with those. Up tilt not finding. Great up air coming out from Visceral. Got to stop KGP from doing a bunch of these empty hops, especially with Limit online. Just barely misses. Yeah, another back air. But just counter poke after counter poke coming out from Visceral, who's playing this so devastating. Catching out all of these jumps from KGP. Can't go to platform. 141. No limit on deck, and he still is trying to recover to platform, which Visceral covered all the way through that in final exchange.
And that was amazing mind games being played. You kept seeing the charge shot cancel. He's charging it. Shield, charge, shield. He knew exactly what he was doing. That is just putting a little bit of conditioning. What am I going to do? Do I shield? Do I attack? Do I go in? What do I do if you're KGP? In that scenario, it was just kind of like, I have to land, but at the perfect time, throwing out that charge shot, not even fully charged, just enough charge to get the kill on KGP. And now it goes to wonder, what do you do if you're KGP? Do you stick with the Cloud, or do you go to your roots of Incineroar, which Incineroar has to be one of his better, if not his best character?
So I would definitely say Incineroar is a dedicated co-main at this point, because you can play a very interesting set of you can play a very interesting game with the stage list. If your opponent bans for Cloud, then suddenly, more often than not, stages like Smashville are open, where characters like Incineroar excel. Not to mention having a frame-free revenge, as well as ways to bully through a lot of these dash attacks and up airs that Visceral has been challenging with. You can turn a lot of the game on its head.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned, like, yeah, you get the stage counter pick, and you get to choose based off that counter pick stage what character you tend to go, but you're Samus. Why would you want a stage like Smashville open at any point in time? I mean, seems like it's not being much of a difference maker, as we still have a pretty even game, but this is Incineroar. Incineroar kills fairly early, and now with a stage like Smashville, yeah, you're going to be seeing stocks flying pretty quickly.
Huge whipped punish on the aerial up B, which KGP played around pretty well. If you're going to play around these platforms, you got to do it with stuff like that. Visceral wants to challenge. There's the down tilt. Sour spot forward air, but at 149, it kills nonetheless. This is why you pick Smashville. Excuse me. That was a really sick confirm. B-reverse charge shot into the down smash on the mistech, and spacing correctly in order to find that regrab. Not going for the up throw, fearing not having enough rage. Rather, we'll just set up the ledge trap again and again. It's so repeatable, and it's where Samus is so strong.
There you go.
There's a nice pivot grab.
Wow!
Not enough. Incineroar's a heavy lad, but that dash attack will do it.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that there was no rage, no percentage done on Visceral, that could lead to the fact that that up throw didn't kill. But even then, that was phenomenal DI coming out from KGP, really living it out for as long as he possibly could, and now racking up this damage, finally 52%. Now he realized, I don't have to play safe no more. I don't have to worry about whether I'm going to die or not. Now I can play my game. I can get aggro and get in on the Samus, and right now KGP is doing a phenomenal job just almost getting that side B call out.
He wants to space around these forward airs so bad, but just the last couple hits have been being found. Another good charge in the down smash from Visceral, who's doing a really solid job playing around these ledge traps, and KGP just barely whiffing some of these punishes. The back air wisp, but he still finds something, and then Nair out of shield. Have to make the most of Samus on ledge here.
Ooh, he had the right idea right there, just barely misspacing as he didn't catch that roll get up option, but the fair is going to be enough to take it, and now KGP with a good lead. With a little bit more damage, this could be his game to win.
And this game is going to be won or lost for both players on the ledge. Given how strong the ledge trapping game is for both these characters, as well as some of the reactions both of them have given out, you have to be careful about this position right here. Another jump coming out for KGP, but as long as you're taking only up airs and you find yourself available to get to platforms, this up throw won't do it quite yet, so he's going to resolve to the back throw.
Oh, wow. And the
Wow.
chase. Beautiful commitment right there coming out from Visceral, evening things out at one stock apiece. But now you have to worry about an Incineroar who is fresh off a stock. Throwing out these projectiles left and right could be a dire for you, because all you have to do is press down B if you're Incineroar, and you get revenge. And at this kind of percentages, you could be seeing that stock flying real soon. But right now, the pressure being added on from both these players, Visceral not going to be able to get much off of that down throw. Confirmed though.
Goes for these couple up airs, trying to extend off these platforms and set up for a charge shot. Early air dodge gets him by, and the early roll as well before the bomb can even hit. Misses the punish, though. I'd like to see more grabs come out from KGP, who feels very... Visceral looks very comfortable just being able to block and move on. Oh, but exactly that kind of mindset gets the forward tilt. Almost goes out. Yeah, that's
Unintentional. Unintentional.
No, very intentional, because I was talking to KGP earlier, and his option select, and he did this last week against Malarson, where he will option select and mash jump nair, just quite literally press jump and A at the same time, so that he's covering all of this space, but he's also fast falling at the same time right before he mashes that out. So he either gets out a footstool or gets out a jump nair, and either way the nair comes out. So you're either covering a whole bunch of that space, or you get a footstool and get the win. It's a pure and simple option select.
It worked out, it paid off, and KGP, even with a very close game 2, He's able to run away with that one. And now, even though we have the same stage layout, it is a different stage in Hollow Bastion. You're still going to have that center platform as a factor. And right now, Visceral is not wasting any time whatsoever. They're just going to go straight into it, hopefully get a little bit more damage, build up this lead, and calling out every single jump and option that KGP is pulling off.
Yeah, just really defending on that platform. But this is, while this is a fair amount of damage for KGP, you know that you can survive given that you're Incineroar. Love that movement from Visceral, playing around this platform so well. It's just as big as the Smashville platforms, with the stage being a little bit longer, you feel a little bit more freedom of movement in these corners. And that's where Visceral has felt really strong. Oh, just getting hit by the very edge of Darkest Lariat in order to sustain, sustain themselves.
And if you're KGP right now, the game plan is get in on Samus at every point in time. Do not allow the charge shot to be a factor. Do not allow the missiles, morph balls, any projectiles to be much of a factor in this game, because the more space you give Samus, the more opportunities she has to work around, you know, just setting up and getting those mind game callouts that we've already been seeing Visceral confirm a lot on, just like that. Just the perfect timing, perfect placement, dash attack, just not enough as the stage is, stage ceiling is high enough to save Samus for this time.
Oh, I love that fast fall from KGP. Jumps over the charge shot, but then fast falls immediately down in order to avoid the follow-up fair. Like, that's the type of stuff that you can do very well spacing around Samus. And there's the first one of those Alolan whips in a while, going for another deep edge guard.
He had the call out right there. He went for the nair, and it would have definitely hit if he was just one frame closer, but one nair will lead to the other, and that is going to be Samus's nair, taking the stock finally off KGP, but with 85% racked up in extra credit, KGP is looking like he's finally figured out something.
Yeah, and just doing a good job of mixing up options at a disadvantage and playing around Samus fair that much stronger. Like finding small parries, doing their best to crouch under it. A great use of revenge, though you do take a small punish and get the trade. Look at all of this damage coming up on either side, but if Visceral gets a little bit more shield discipline, all of these little pokes that are going KGP's way are going to start swinging the other way dramatically.
All right. And KGP realizing that Visceral is not opting to charge that charge shot fully. Going for a lot of half charge shots and, you know, starting to catch on to those little call-outs that Visceral is trying to make. See, once again, just using the half charge instead. So now KGP realizes, okay, you're not going to fully charge that. I can start taking advantage of that. I know when exactly you're going to plan on shooting that. As this time, finally, Visceral is going to be able to connect something. But 154, that's not opting for the up throw. I feel like it would have killed.
I think he's got something in his head where the up throw won't kill until about 175 or higher, which is incredibly detrimental because you're not factoring in rage. And all of this rage for KGP may close out this stock so much earlier.
Wow.
Again, there is that counterplay, forcing Visceral into repeat options and forcing the same situations to rear their head again and again and again. As you were calling out, forcing Visceral to let loose the shots early before they were able to be full charge sustained KGP's survivability, because full charge shot gets a dramatic knockback boost. And if you're playing around ledge, of course Samus players want to drop down forward air, and you got a perfect whiff punish for that. Super clean stuff from KGP to take advantage of the stageless and take advantage of that explosive counter pick.